Yeah. Seriously, the worst thing of this shit. Look at that. How did that come out? I understand that is there, but I did not squeeze it, and it's already on my fucking finger. Seriously. You go inside and check the kitchen. I bet you there'll be fucking some on the kitchen bench. First things first, lawn update, baby. I shouldn't be that excited because, to be frank, it has been a fucking bloodbath for the last 3 weeks. And we've had 600 mil of rain in 3 weeks. The front and backyard now is sitting at about 10 mil. I didn't get to mow for about 3 days on the trot there, which meant the front yard got a little bit out of control, which means now that I've mowed, it's not scalping it, but it's just taking the green off it. So into winter, I may have to bump it up to like 11 to 12 mil to grow back through that, to get that nice green lush back. The front yard was always the pin-up girl. The backyard is now starting to look primo. And old love is, oh yeah, she's seen better days, but she's still doing her thing. It'll be in for a resto soon enough, but my money's been spent on car parts, not mower parts as much as I'd like to. So anyway, into clutches. Clutches are arguably one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your car. I read a passing comment when I was on a forum. It was something along the lines of, your clutch will literally govern how you feel about driving your car. So if it costs you a little bit more to get a good clutch, spend the f***ing money. You'll hate your car if it drives like shit. The biggest ones I found were OS clutches, like direct clutches, Nismo Super Copper Mix. There's probably a couple more, but they were the big three, say. Obviously there's no clutch in this at the moment, but you get the point. I went the Nismo Super Copper Mix twin plate for 2 reasons. The 2 biggest things that I wanted to do with the car: have nice drivability, be able to handle the power. Not much power, so pretty easy boxes to tick here. This clutch can hold, I believe, and it said it on their website, about 550 kilowatt, which once you get past the fact that they're measuring clutches in kilowatts, it's actually perfect for what we're after. Not one person had a bad thing to say about it, and every single person said it feels OEM, which is exactly what I want. Let's jump in, let's have a look at her, let's start assembling. Let's go. Full disclosure, I have already undone the bolts around the outside. It's just this one here. It's just another, this is just one, there's another 8 of them. Screw it down in there, and then you torque it to 446 Newton meters, I think it is. So yeah, so she can hold a fair bit. It is truly the nicest of nice. It makes you not even want to install it. Straight off the bat, obviously you've got the cover plate. That is a nice thing. Springs around the outside. So this is one of the plates. Oh, okay, that's a plate. Oh, okay. Right. Sometimes these are directional, so I am going to stack it the way that it came out of the box. When I just said that's a plate, oh, that's cool. In my Mantic, the clutch plate actually had its own spline and its own spring and everything in it. It was part of the plate, but obviously this is its own cog. Everybody says when you get a twin plate clutch that they're going to be rattly. They sound like plates clanging around in there, and they do. I've heard them, but my Mantic one didn't, almost zero. So I believe that would probably be because it was centralized to the spine. So this one, once the clutch disengages, you just got the plates flapping around in there, having a good old time. So that would make sense. It's just, honestly, it's all just, I know it's Nismo, so you'd expect it to be just flawlessly good, but I'm here to tell you that it bloody is. Next up, we have obviously the divider, but anyway, that's just a pretty much big chunk of metal that both the clutches sit on. Clutch plate, turn it upside down, chuck it on there, and then obviously our flywheel ourselves. And you can see down here, these bolts here screw right through from the top to the bottom, and then mount our clutch to the flywheel. Love laying on the ground, haven't got over it yet. My little turbos are up there, look at them. Cute little guys. We have done a new pilot bush and the cam seal already. That was in another episode, I can't remember which one. I'm gonna do it the way that is always worked for me. Flywheel on, flywheel bolts on, Loctite on the thread of the flywheel bolt, and then ARP lube on under the head of it to give you the torque, and then just piece the clutch together as per the instructions, which it came with and are flawless in Japanese and English, so handy. Anyway, let's start getting this show on the road. Cool. She's good. The biggest thing they said was just to make sure that these springs are where they need to be and that the clutch cover is mounting to the basket in an even fashion, which it is. So now what I can do is I will go over and screw all of these down like in an even sort of way, and then I will torque it all after it's all where it needs to be. So, and then at least now our clutches are lined up. They're still wiggling, but that's that clanging that you'll hear with a twin plate. But as far as being centered, they are centered.
298 frozen patties later.
This is a shit moment. Anyone who knows what they were looking at would know. Any RV guys want to pick it out? Now, when you take the gearbox out, this plate here goes in between the gearbox and the motor. I put it on top of the gearbox, so I could not move the gearbox without having to hit that plate, because I knew that you would be like, all right, the last thing you're gonna do is put the box on and then find that sitting somewhere. Sure enough, it needs to go behind the clutch. So bring it all off and then do it all again. Lucky I didn't torque anything down apart from the flywheel. I'm not 100% sure whether the flywheel bolts, OEM ones, are one-use items. I would imagine they are, because everyone says to replace them when you replace it. So it gave me an excuse to buy some of these bad boys, some nice little ARP flywheel bolts. So cool, take them off and do it all again. We're done, finally. Of no fault of the Nismo's fault, it's almost definitely operator error. She's on there and she's torqued down and it's mint and it looks sick. I don't even want to put the gearbox on there. Pretty much after you've torqued it down, just put a dotting of white paint on each one just to let you know that you've torqued it. That sounds crazy because you're like, oh well, I just work your way across. You'd be very surprised how easy it is to get confused once you go like across here and then go to here and then go to here. But then when you do this one, it like the clutch turns a little bit like that. Oh, and then so now you're up here and was it that one or that one? And so it's honestly best thing you'll ever do. So make sure you do that. Thank you for watching. That's how to install a Nismo Super Copper Mix twin plate clutch. Now we're on to 4-wheel drive mods. How good is this? These I wonder if they'll fit in there. You want a 40mm lift? 40mm lift. If you saw anything comical or you want to add value to, please drop a comment down below. I don't know what it is. I just took that clutch on and off twice in 6 hours. 12 hours. Anyway, see us.